So you have this, young woman, that's, speak about something that, I've kind of seen over the years is that when, some brothers have children with white women and they say they don't stay with them, you got this white woman raising this black child, and some of them take them back to lily white areas, and it becomes very, hard on that child. It becomes very abusive. Well, you have one of them speaking about that. Let's go ahead and roll that.
I noticed a lot of people were saying under this girl's video, but who would say that? Who says that? And the answer is other biracial people, particularly those of us who have white moms and black dads. I always talk to other biracial people about how they felt about their experiences growing up, and I've heard this kind of sentiment a shocking and sad number of times, and I can resonate with it actually to some extent. So what I will say is if you are a black man who is interested in dating white women, that is fine. Go for your preference, be my guest. But if you want any children you might possibly have with her, even if you're not going to stick around and raise them, to remotely enjoy being raised by her, it is imperative that she have non-white friends before you give her non-white children. If she does not have non-white female friends, what that means is she is not a safe space. She does not make women of color feel good. And the worst thing you could do is put that person in charge of non-white children.
As you heard her commentary, she was saying that if you choose to do it, make sure you basically get the ones that has nothing but black friends. That's basically what she's saying. Ones that maybe grew up in a black area, if you're going to choose to do that. Me personally, I'm just saying that was never a choice for me. I could not in my mind wanted to have a child with a white woman, because it's just, we are literally, let's call it what it is. No matter if we can halfway get along, we have the dog and cat relationship. You understand? The dog and cat is always a mortal enemy to each other. Yeah, you can raise them together. They can get along, which is, a little different, but naturally they just don't get along. And the reason why we don't get along is not because of black people, it's because of them. It's because of their history, because of what they want to institute, and because of the white supremacy that they want to have running throughout the earth. So I always say, for me, just as a black man, I couldn't just come home, dealing with things out in the world, and I'm going to tell that issue to a white woman. I mean, she couldn't relate to that. Maybe she could empathize with it, sympathize with it, but she could not relate to it whatsoever. So that was just not a, thing for me. And then, just call it what it is. I didn't want none of my children coming out looking like Drake's child, the little child he had. I didn't want that. Not at all. But if you do have a child, brothers, with a white woman, either you need to be with her or you need to be in that child's life or something. Because I have seen it a lot of times. Y'all have children with these white women, and then y'all leave and do whatever you want to do, whatever the case may be. And then you leave this child in a abusive situation. A lot of it is abusive because their culture is abusive to black people, just on a norm, right? So they send them to school. They go move to lily white areas. They send them to school in lily white areas. And then that culture of anti-black racism that's in their culture sit up there and attack and harm these children. So because they're clearly not white, and they definitely, so since they're not white, they're going to tell them they're black, even though they say, well, they don't look like me, visibly, black. But to them, no, you are black, and we're going to treat you as such. So, brothers, I will say that in all your dating and mating and all the things that you're doing, please consider your children. And like I tell these men, marry, a woman before you have a child. Just like I tell women, marry before you carry. I say that all the time. When we talk about dating and relationships, on the Philip Scott show, we say that's a statement we always want to preach. Marry before you carry when it comes to women. And if she ain't worth your last name, she ain't worth impregnating. That's always going to be my message. Because you can prevent a lot of these problems. You can prevent it. And in America, as a black man, that woman has too much power over you. And that's not a good dynamic just in your household. Any little thing that woman say, a whole lot of things happen to you. I don't like that kind of power dynamic, so I was good on that. But some of you don't think about that when it comes to your children. So that's a result of someone has been left in a situation like that. So please, my brothers, consider that. Don't get them pregnant, whatever you do. But y'all let me know what y'all think about, what this, little young sister had to say about, just that situation in general. I mean, that's a reality because more and more people like her is popping up in America and they're starting to tell their story. And a lot of it is not a good one.